Here's a free chapter from our moonshot Become a Squarespace Designer, which is our intensive 6-week program to train you how to become a professional web designer like myself using Squarespace as a platform. It's over on Pixelhaze Academy. Feel free to go over and take a look. But I wanted to share this free chapter with you because it's very apt at the moment with so much moving in terms of AI and how AI is starting to creep into many services like web design. This chapter is fully dedicated to show you how we can tap into AI and use it, which is completely free, to be able to rapid prototype the briefing process with our websites. So whether this is for your own project or whether you're working on a client project, hopefully this will help you. Let's go take a look. We're going to be using several free apps to create our brief in lightning quick format. So first up, we're going to have our brief document. So this will be available on the course for you. Feel free to tweak it and adjust it to your own business needs. So when you're dealing with your clients, you can have a more personalized approach. We're actually doing this in the studio with our team members, are just tweaking the format to suit their own particular style and the strengths and weaknesses. What I'm going to do is split these 10 parts into 2 sections, just to make sure that we're not overloading Chat GPT, the AI system, with too much information and then it struggles to sort it. One option I've got is just to go question by question, but I'm hoping by going 5 questions at a time, it should be capable of dealing with that. And the other thing as well, before we jump into Chat GPT, so this is free, create your own free account. I'm on the Plus version, and this is the paid option. It's around $20 a month. This allows me to use the GPT-4 model, which is a more advanced, latest model of the engine. It's a little bit slower as well. So I use GPT 3.5 when I want to really get through things quickly. However, I'm going to use 3.5 here simply because of the fact that you may not be paying for the paid version, and I can show you that this will work without going for the paid option. So what I'm going to do first is give it a bit of a prompt to start. So I'm setting the scene with ChatGPT to explain what we're doing before I put the template for the brief in, that it understands what we're going for. I've just outlined what I want ChatGPT to do, and I've very deliberately said, please let me know that you understand, and I will paste the first question. And I might even put, do not proceed without the transcript being pasted. Not the best grammar. I'm going to press enter now and just see if it understands. I understand your request. Please go ahead and paste the first question and then provide the transcript for me to review and align the answers accordingly. There will be 5 questions, not 1 at a time. Do you understand? I'm now going to paste the questions. So it responds, great. Now that I have the outline of the questions, please go ahead and provide the transcript for each question. Make sure to label each transcript with the corresponding question number so I can align them correctly into this document. We are going to need to align them without being accurately labeled, as there may be some errors in the transcript. Here we go. So ChatGPT will do its best to align them. Very good of it. And so we're now ready to start pasting in our brief. Now, the one thing you can do at this stage, and it would probably save me time, is to copy and paste these prompts, tweak them over time, and actually just enter in the prompts for every single brief as we need them. This means I don't have to spend this initial 5 minutes to get everything set up before pasting in the questions. Now we're going to jump over to software platform number 3. So we're going from Google Docs, which is free, into ChatGPT, and we're pasting the questions in there, also free. We're going to be going into Otter to be able to create a new recording. And finally, we're going to go into our empty brief document for our business. So I'm going into Otter. I'm going to start pressing record. And Otter AI will record what we're saying. But the issue I have here is I'm using a microphone that's connected to a MacBook, so a laptop, and the lid's closed. And I think the microphone for Otter is connected to that. So I could either see in settings if there's a way around that, or I could probably lift the lid and it should start recording. Okay, we're ready to go. I'm going to head back now to our brief document, and I'm going to ask the first 5 questions. and I'm going to play the role as the client as well and answer those. Okay, let's start out with organization details. Please give me the name of the organization. The organization is Evans Family Bakery, but we are considering renaming that to Castle Bakery in the future. Business address, 84 Castle Street, Brecon. Primary contact name, Stephen Evans. Primary contact email, sevans@evansbakery.co.uk. Primary contact phone number, 07999 591 293. Website, there is no current website. Part 2. Cover your bases. What current market trends impact your organisation? The bakery had a bit of a peak during COVID, where it was seen as obviously one of food providers. We were seen as essential business, and we had a lot of new business from locals that we weren't expecting from before. Since then, things have dropped a little bit, although it is seasonal. We seem to do very well in the summer with the tourism trade in and around the Brecon area. But essentially, yeah, it's up and down depending on the seasons, but the bakery has been around a long time, so we're pretty resilient to market trends, and other outside factors don't really have a huge impact on us. Okay, great. What's your estimated marketing overheads for the next fiscal year? How much are you expecting to spend on marketing over the year? Well, it's a difficult one because we don't tend to spend any marketing whatsoever. Most of our business comes through word of mouth. We have people coming in the street, recommended to us. And when people are on holiday in the area, they don't tend to look for the bakery as the first port of call to decide where they go on holiday, although it'd be nice if we could change that. So we're very much an opportunity. How do I say it? We're in a situation where people will react to seeing our signs, actually going past the bakery and smelling the amazing bakes we have. Okay, great. Do you have any primary competitors in your area? And if you do, please provide the website addresses or let me know, and then I will look up the website addresses for you. We don't really have any local competitors, no, so I don't think that's going to be really suitable for us in that case. Okay, no problem. Let's move on to organization background. Could you provide a brief history for your organization? So I'm now actually the third generation taking over the running of the bakery. My background is I've been a professional chef in a gastropub. I've just finished my degree. I went later on. I'm in my late 20s, and I went to university later to study a degree. And I'm going to be taking over the bakery as my parents are going into semi-retirement. So they'll still be supporting, still be helping, but they're going to be taking more of a backseat. It was my grandfather who set up the bakery originally, and so the bakery's been run for over 40 years, and that heritage is really important to us. We want to continue and amplify that heritage and saying that through thick and thin, we've always been there. We are your local bakery, and having local trades are really, really important to us. There is a slight change, though, in terms of my specialism is creating desserts, and in particular, highly decorated cupcakes, and we want to be able to bring that in as part of something to set us apart. So that's our kind of USP, will be to have these highly decorated cupcakes that taste amazing, and we want to really make sure that's part and parcel of where we're moving forward. But we're at that point where we want to take the business forward, but at the same time, we don't want to forget the past and the history of the company. Okay, great. That's everything I need for now. How about company timeline? Are there any key milestones or key dates that come to mind? Good question. I can't really think of anything at the moment, but we were nominated for a business award in 2019. We became a finalist in that award, so that was a Mid Wales Business Award. So that's something we can obviously be very proud of. We've been in a number of publications in terms of visiting hidden gems from Mid Wales, and we've come up in a couple of publications for that as well. So those have been really good. Okay, fantastic. Now we're on to the 5 W's and the H. Who, what, why, where, when, how. So we'll start off with who. Who are you? which I think you've already covered, so we don't need to cover that now. And who is your target audience? Okay, our target audience would be people in and around our local area, so residents in that area, and then tourists who are staying in the area for a little while or visiting friends and family. And we can offer, obviously, the staple breads and other baked delights, but also we're looking to add an extra layer of having some really nice treats added in there as well. So perfect for someone walking through Brecon High Street and they're able to kind of stop by and pick up a snack to go or a little treat to go and have on the bench in the park in Brecon. Okay, great. Why do you work in your industry? And why does this get you up on a Monday morning? So this is all about your organization or your business culture. I think the continuing of that family legacy is really, really important. I think like cooking's been ingrained, pun intended, in me since I was a child, kind of growing up in and around the family bakery. And I think that's really important. So I hadn't really thought or considered of moving into any other industries. I suppose it's part of me as well. But service to our local community is really important, and the connection that we have. So over and above, obviously, having the bakery open 6 days a week, we are also actively involved. We sponsor local sports teams, especially youth and junior teams in the local area. And we also get stands at local events to support them. And yeah, we try to be as active in the community as possible. Being part of the Mid Wales community here in Brecon is really, really important to us. Great. Okay then, where are you based? Is your business local, national, or global? And what is your catchment area, if local or national? So we're based in Brecon, as we mentioned. Target audience is local, and so our regional focus will be, as I mentioned, within, say, a 30-minute drive of Brecon. We can't really go further away than that, and people who are visiting the area. Okay, great. Well, I shouldn't have actually asked that question as I did, because I think you already answered it, but thank you for that. Okay, so just a couple more. When do you deliver your products, service and events, and what are your opening hours? So our opening hours are 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. We're then open 9 till midday on a Saturday. We don't currently have a delivery service, although it's something I'm thinking about, especially for the cupcakes, to be able to deliver boxes of cupcake treats. But for the moment, we'll just focus on those opening hours. Okay, great. We'll finish with the how. How can your website audience contact you or buy from you? Well, we don't have a website audience at the moment. That's why we're having this conversation. But currently, obviously, they can come into the shop during 9 to 5 hours. We have a phone line for the shop, but ultimately that's for general queries. Sometimes someone will ask, do we have certain cakes in there, so that they can kind of order them over the phone and then pick up and collect. Although that's only really for our regulars at the moment. But these are areas that I'm looking to expand. I don't want to knock what my parents have done, but ultimately I'm looking to freshen things up a little bit and take the business and try a few more things, I suppose is the best way of saying it. Okay, great. That's fantastic. Thank you. Okay, so that's processing the conversation. It should come up pretty quick. It usually does. But we can see here now that because it's coming off the MacBook microphone, which is further away from me, it may not be perfect, but it looks pretty good. So I'm going to try something now I've not done before. I've done similar things in Chat GPT and it's worked, especially in Chat GPT 4. But I'm just going to copy this in to Chat GPT. Let's just enter that and then just see what it does with the transcript. So initially we can see reckon instead of Brecon. Okay. But bear in mind, this is a brief for us. This would have been a much longer process if I had to type it up with the client with me. The benefit of this approach is we can have a kind of a structured conversation where I can ask these questions, but also we can let the customer take it in the direction that they want. Let's go and copy this now into our document and let's just see how it reads. We can see it's picked up that perfectly. Business address, 84 Castle Street, Brecon. So we'll just tweak that. I think it was Stephen Evans was the fake person I made up. And so we'll just do a little bit of formatting on this. I think it was S. Evans as opposed to S. Evans. I'm not 100% sure on that. That's the beauty of something like Otter, is I can go back and actually listen to this transcript. If there's anything I'm not entirely sure on, we've got the audio to go alongside the script. Now, if I'd have done that off my phone, it would have been louder and easier to pick up as well. But just for convenience here, we've just done it on here. So Otto will give you, I think, about an hour to an hour and a half, or maybe even more, of recording per month before you have to upgrade to a paid plan. So it does a really good job of our briefing processes and allow us to go through this process. We're not looking at writing a report here or a business plan to go to into a bank or anything like that. So we've got everything we need for this. So it's just a bit of formatting now, but ultimately I've got everything I need for this brief to be able to start. So what I'm going to do next is I'll just go through exactly the same process now with the second part of this brief, and then we can compare the notes then. And later in this course, in a later week, we're going to come back to this when it comes to writing our content, and we'll be using Chat GPT once more to take the content out of this brief and turn it into compelling website copy with a lot of our help. The reason why that's really important is that this content isn't suitable at the moment. Asking Chat GPT with a couple of prompts, so 3 or 4 lines that we enter in, saying Evans Family Bakery is based in Brecon, it's going to change to Castle Bakery. We've got a strong local reputation and we serve our local area up to a 30-minute drive. And we could put that into Chat GPT and it would come up with some good copy. In fact, let's try it. So what I'm going to do first, though, is I'm going to create a new chat because I don't want to cheat, because Chat GPT will recognize the content that we've already pasted in. It'll be drawing on that information for the answer, and I don't want to do that. Need website copy for. Okay, so I'll just put that in as an example. And let's just see what it pumps out as a result in terms of our website copy. So we're jumping ahead a couple of weeks into the process. Okay, it's doing a pretty decent job. A very good job, to be fair. I chewed my arm off to have this type of content previously. To have it now, it's just, there's so much information here that we can take. But a lot of the content is going to be very generic. So at Castle Bakery, we're committed to sustainability and supporting local suppliers. Yada, yada, yada. This is the stuff that everyone puts on their websites. But yet we can do so much more than that because we have more personality, more soul of the business here. So if I was to take this, for example, and just say add this info, already it starts improving the content and makes it more personal. Nestled in the heart of Brecon, nicer introduction, and then we can say, okay, shorten to a title and summary paragraph, and then we can see that could then go as an introduction paragraph on our website. Castle Bakery, where tradition meets artistry in Brecon, Mid Wales. Nice. Not everyone's cup of tea, but it's a really good start. And this is just happening so quickly now. If we didn't like it, we can just say, try again. And it will have another go. Fusion of heritage and art. So I could even say, give me 3 options. And it does. Limitless creativity. If you can, another pun come in, if you can bake this into your briefing process, you can start showing examples, and it's a great opportunity to show off to your clients and show how you can create this content, because I can almost guarantee that this is the bit that scares most of your clients, is the thought of having to go away and write content. If they're comfortable for you to interview them, and not every client will be comfortable with this approach, so sometimes you have to record yourself talking back to them based on an initial chat that you have with them. And I've done this many times where I forgot to press record when we start the conversation. And then I will just say, okay, so here's just a brain dump of everything that I've learned that we've been through. Does it align? They will say yes or no, or they can then add to it whilst you're recording. And that's another way of easing them into providing you with this content. If you can extract all of the key points from the client in the briefing process, understand what you need to deliver as the professional, the rest will click into place so much easier. This also makes it much easier to select your templates and really drive things forward. Hope that this has given you an insight and a taster for how we can integrate AI, which is both awe-inspiring and it still doesn't fail to shock me on a day-to-day basis. I'm also a little terrified about how fast this is moving forward and how much this system has improved since December when I lost half of my life running through it. Yeah, that's a deep dive into how I use Chat GPT, or have been using it for the last few months, to create detailed briefs. Hope you've enjoyed it. Cheers.